Who went out last night and checked out Grease, which just arrived last night in San Diego, and it arrived with Taylor Hicks and its cast. He is now in the studio with us. Really, we went with this for the Grease song?
Well, you got to introduce the Grease song. He sings this song, actually.
Okay. That's awesome.
He kicks off the song.
So you are a busy guy. We've been getting caught up off air. I want to get to you. You've been on the road how long?
3.5 years.
Literally consecutively?
3.5 years. Right after I won, I was on the road with Idol, and then I was, recorded the record, and then I was actually on my own solo tour, and then actually toured Southeast Asia for a couple of months.
Wow.
And still touring.
Still touring.
Yep.
Now you're doing this Grease thing that's going all over the... Let me give you the details on this. Grease is in San Diego. Get your tickets now at BroadwaySD.com. It is only here through the 8th, so you got a handful of days. And you have a new album coming out.
March 10th, The Distance.
Tuesday.
Love it. Yeah. Worked with Eric Clapton's producer and B.B. King's producer.
Wow.
And got a bunch of really great studio musicians. Basically, Eric Clapton's road band performed with me on this record. And the single's doing really well. What's Right is Right. And I'm playing the Belly Up tomorrow night. I'm flying the band in. I love San Diego. It's nice. It's sunny. People are laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So now you're on tour doing Grease, but then when you hit a town you want to perform in, you get the band on the phone and say, meet me here, and you do a show.
Yeah, some nights, some days on Saturdays, I'll have done an afternoon matinee, an evening show, and a club gig until about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
But I love, you got to love it. Even like 10 years ago, before I went on American Idol, I called somebody, I was like, I think I'm about to go work at a bank. And they said, you know what, you really got to love it. And I was like, you know what, I really do love this stuff. So, and luckily I stuck through it, and that's, here I am.
I always wonder how celebrities can do all that, and I've asked it before, like, how many hours a night do you get sleep, and how do you just keep going, and one day you just...
I think one day you just decide that's it. I give up. And a quick story, Willie Nelson's guitar player for 35 years, they're on the road with each other. He pulls the bus over and all of a sudden says, I'm done. Goes back home. And he's from Alabama, from southern Alabama. 35 years of being on the road. And he just looks over at Willie Nelson and says, hey, you know what? I think this is it. I think my ride's out. And,
wow.
I think that's the way that you have to look at it. For me, entertaining and being around people and doing the Broadway thing and music and playing, it's in my makeup. It's you guys love to do what you do, and you're great at it, obviously. And if if you're having fun with it, you got to roll with it.
Do you take the time to at least enjoy the cities you're in? Will you get out to a beach or something in the next few days?
Yes,
and have a San Diego memory.
I will. And what's great about this show and being able to perform it in a Broadway touring company is that you actually get to spend time in each city. And like I was on tour last year with the record and did 287 dates out of the year.
Wow.
And was moving from town to town. This actually I get to stay in San Diego. I've got some friends here, and I wish we could stay here for a month.
I've got Jenna on the line who saw the show last night. Hi, Jenna.
Good morning, Playhouse.
What up?
Hi.
Hi.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
It was so good. So I'm a little hoarse today for screaming so much, but
You're a sweetheart. It's a fun part.
Thanks, Jenna.
Thanks, dear.
Day. Yeah, you're the guy that comes down and sings Teen Angel, right?
I am.
That
Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah, that's what it is. Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah.
Now, had you done any musical theater before this?
Never.
Had you ever wanted to?
It never crossed my mind. And they brought me the role and said, "Here, this is a great introduction into acting and role playing, and just make sure Frenchie goes back to high school." And so she does, and it's working.
Yeah.
Is it a whole different group of people? I mean, from the music industry, and not music, but like the other.
It's interesting working with actors as opposed to working with musicians, because actors actually get up in the mornings and go to gigs, as opposed to musicians, scraggly musicians. You got to really drag out of the bed. So there, it's the way that you interact between actor and musician is very similar. It's just theatrical as opposed to musical.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Hicks is in the Playhouse. He is in town to be in Greece. It arrived last night. It's going to only be here for a handful of days. It'll be here through the 8th. So get your tickets now at BroadwaySD.com. And put a note to yourself in your phone to pick up the new album when it drops Tuesday.
Be at Belly Up tomorrow night, too.
And be at the Belly Up tomorrow night. We got a lot to plug here. Do you have an iPod or an MP3 player?
I do.
I would kill to just push shuffle on it and see what's in there, because you have to have incredibly eclectic musical taste.
I'm a pretty eclectic dude when it comes to that music, I love it. Modern music, yeah. I'll let you see some stuff.
That'd be a trip to me.
The shuffle.
Would that make it difficult to decide which direction to go? I mean, you only get to put out an album every couple of years if you have so many influences and so many things that you love.
Well, that's what's funny that you ask that, is because on this particular album, a lot of different styles. I wrote in a lot of different styles. There's R&B, some pop, country. I went through all the styles that were influenced by me as an artist. And I think nowadays, like if you push play on a record, you can hear the same thing all the way through the record. It's the sounds the same start to finish. For me, I wanted to do songs in different genres, R&B, gospel. So it's almost like, I take that listener on a musical journey.
If you had to pick one just vocalist that is your go-to, if you can only hear one man sing or woman for the rest of your life, who's your favorite?
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't make a big argument. I'm a Sam Cooke guy, but I'd be right there with Ray Charles.
Yeah, he's up. Sam Cooke's up there too.
Phenomenal.
You a big Sam Cooke fan?
Huge Sam Cooke fan. My favorite singer of all time. Gina?
I wanted to ask you, do you like your nickname?
But they called you on Idol the silver-haired fox?
Yeah, do you like that? I think it's cool, but do you
I
like
don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Did you? What was your thought process going into Idol? Because as like a musician's musician, had you seen that show and thought you would have a chance?
I'd watched a little bit of it, but it's funny. I was actually like 5 years ago. I was actually in a bar playing, and then looking up at the screen, watching American Idol, and just thinking, "Oh, that's pretty cool show," And never in a million years did I think that I would actually, get on it, perform, and then be able to win it. But then when I started going through it, I started like realizing that this was my break, this was my chance, and started picking songs accordingly. I mean, that's a pretty important part of that whole process.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the recent American Idol?
I have, yeah. I like the show. I think right now is when you can really determine where the great artists have the great ears, because they start performing with live bands, they start playing off of music, and you can really start picking up on which entertainer, which singer has the best ear, because A, they're never out of tune. B, they hear the band and they perform with the band. And C, they're able to perform all of those three parts together. To me, I'm the Idol fan that if you sing out of key and you miss the words, you're out of there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I just don't. I think that's what you have to be a successful and sustain a career. Is you have to have a musical ear, and you can tell, as you go through, which ones have and which ones don't.
Well, once you've got a record deal and you have a bunch of people helping guide you in a certain direction, you've got a team. But when you're on that show, you are really making strategic choices,
right,
in picking what song is going to get you to the next round and stuff. Do you think there are some people that are great vocalists but bad decision makers?
Yes. I mean, yeah.